Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A. We go over all latest news that happened during the week of mobile and tech and answer your questions live. If you have a question you want to ask, just ask it in the comment section down below and I will answer it before the end of the show. Alright guys, we got some tech news coming up, so let's get started. The biggest news has to be all about the Pixel Fold and how that device is coming about, because I am super hyped for it. Is it a little bit more expensive than I wanted it to be? Sure. I would like it to be less. Of course I would. Why not? But is it still going to be a big impact, especially in the foldable market? Yes. All right, so let's get to it. So everything we know came from John Processor. He basically leaked all the major specs about it. And then we had a physical leak for it, which we'll be going over as well. So first off, it is going to be shipping as of June 27th, and pre-orders will begin on May 10th. That is where we're going to go. It looks like it will be exclusively through the Google store as well, and you will be getting a free Google Watch with it. Here is the big thing. Price point, $1,700 price tag for a 256 gig model. So that's a lot of money. I don't know about you, but that's a lot of money. So yeah, it definitely is going to be a bit more expensive. I was hoping for around 1,500 to be quite honest, but I get it. It is their first phone, and I don't know what kind of deals they made with other companies because Google does not make their own products. So they went to other companies in order to make this. A lot of the Google Fold is made by either different companies, from Samsung to Sony with the cameras to HTC with a lot of the body part. So it really is a variation on all that. You have to imagine that with this one, they could have gone with other suppliers as well because of the foldable body. It looks a lot more like some of the other companies out there that have been making different phones, such as Oppo and ones like that with this kind of hinge. So not sure exactly who's doing all the heavy lifting here, but it is definitely, again, a bigger price tag than I would have liked. I think 1,500 would have been great. This 1,800 is pretty expensive. For the 512 gig, it looks like it will be $1,919. We'll be going over the price and how it compares to the Fold 4 in a little bit. The curious thing is if this will cause Samsung to drop their price at all, as the Fold 5 will be coming out after this. So I am kind of curious of that, if they will be dropping price at all on this. So it does look like it's going to come with 12 gigs of RAM. It will come with a Tensor G2 chip, which is going to be the same chip as the Pixel Pro 7. Now, me and a couple of influencers actually talked about this on this group chat. And, you know, some people were complaining about why does it have the G2? I really would have rather had the G3 if I'm going to be paying this much money. Multiple things on that. One, that processor is probably not ready. They have to get that processor from Samsung, and Samsung is probably not ready in order to make that kind of leap of that many of the new processors that are not out yet, that are not tested yet, all of that stuff. That's probably why it's not happening. Now, the argument to be made there is, well, for this price point, it should have been a G3 chip, more this year's flagship processor. The thing that I said to that was basically, I mean, at the same time, I get that. I would have rather a lower price, again, even $100 to $200 cheaper than what they are talking about. But I get it that they might not have as much leverage on that at the same time because of the fact that they do not make the hardware for it themselves. And finally, the Pixel 7 Pro, I've never had any issues with being sluggish or whatever kind of stuff, like, oh, I want a faster processor, I want the fastest edge one. No one cares about processors anymore in this day and age, to be quite honest. They just don't mean as much. I rather have more RAM 9 times out of 10 than the fastest current processor on the market. I have not had a phone really slow down on me that much, with the exception of like the A54 that I'm currently using right now as a mid-range phone. Yeah, I've seen a little stutter on that one, but for the past 4 years, I want to say now, I have not had a flagship lag on me. Now, some people did have a different issue with the G1 chip from the original Pixel, but I haven't really had anyone have those kind of issues with the G2 chip. So again, it might be an isolated issue, but that's just from what I've heard. All right, in terms of the screen, it will be a 5.8 inch on the front. We'll get into that. That's a little bit smaller than than the Galaxy Fold. And it will be a 7.6 inch, same size as the Fold 4 on the front, but with a different aspect ratio of 6:5, which I'm really, really excited for. Finally, we have a much, much better set of cameras than the Fold 4. Which is one thing I'm really excited for, and everything is telling us that we're going to have the same cameras on the Fold 4 and the Fold 5, which, quite honestly, this is a big FU to Samsung because they couldn't step up and actually improve their cameras, which they had every opportunity to. So this is the main thing I am the most excited for, to be quite honest. This is what I'm really excited for when it comes to the Pixel Fold, and why I am just so hyped for it when it comes to being a much better device compared to the Fold series currently offered by Samsung. And that is that the cameras are going to be basically the same ones we got on the Pixel 7 Pro, which by all accounts are far better than what we get on the Fold 4, and in turn we'll be getting on the Fold 5. So yeah, it really is gonna be very curious to see how that goes, but very happy about it on both ends. By the way, both displays are 120 hertz too, instead of just the internal one being both displays are 120 hertz. And then we kind of saw it out in public, so you can kind of see that someone had it. And this part up here and on the bottom is what's being talked a lot about. I don't care, to be quite honest. I really don't. So the whole thing is being talked about. Did you see those big ass bezels? Did you see the bezels? Okay, this is nice. Don't get me wrong. It's nice. It's cool. It's clean. The fact that I really don't have any bezels to see on here is awesome. Do I care about these bezels? No. I really don't. Like, I having used a Fold for so long, this is what I've wanted. I don't want this taller shape. I want a wider screen. I want a bigger screen, to be quite honest. I've wanted an 8-inch to closer to an 8.5 inch, really, at this point. I mean, this is the fourth Fold, and the screens have not gotten bigger. Like, I want bigger screens. That's the number one thing I will say that I want. And we really haven't gotten that. But when it comes to having a wider aspect ratio, I'm here for it. I use split screen so much time that, like, that's all I'm thinking about. I'm just thinking about this top and bottom looking all good with my split screen. That's what I'm thinking of. So, yeah. I mean, would it be cooler if it had a top? Sure. Do I care because I'm getting a far better internal selfie cam than this Fold 4 that has the in-screen camera? So there's always a trade-off. There always is. Quite frankly, I don't care about the bezels. I really, really don't. And I think people that are whining about it, like, are, yeah, aesthetic, form over function. I rather have function 9 times out of 10. I like a good aesthetic. It's pleasing. It's great. It's awesome. I don't care. I don't care about these bezels. I really don't. I rather have my camera look good when I need to make a conference call, when I need to make a video call, than the crummy way that the underneath camera does. It's just like, I never wanted to do a conference call with that. I literally have done this where instead of using my beautiful screen to see a conference call and be able to see the display really well, I will take it like this so that I could use the better front camera. So, as someone that's used all of these foldables on a daily basis and has seen their limitations, I rather have this, quite frankly. That's me. That's not going to be everyone, but I rather have function over the beauty. That's just me. All right. Now that being said, I said we were going to get to this, and I thought this was a really good comparison when it came to the specs. So this is from Phone Arena, and just let's going over the expected specs. Now, we do expect it to be at 10 ounces, actually. So this is a little bit further outdated compared to what we just got leaked. But we do expect to be at 10 ounces, which still will be heavier than the Fold 4. Don't really care about the weight. Just not my concern, because we do expect the battery to be bigger than the Fold 4. We don't know what size the battery will be, but we do expect it to be bigger, whether that be 4,500, whether it be the 4,600. It's going to be slightly bigger than the Fold 4 from what we're hearing. Now, 7.6 OLED, 7.6 OLED, 120 Hz on both of these displays, as opposed to just the front, as opposed to the inside. And there we go, 6.2 versus 5.8. So the front is going to be smaller, but it will be wider. So I might not hate that, to be honest. I mean, if it feels like a better full screen phone, right? If it feels more like this phone than the narrowness of this phone, a smaller one might be okay. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I rather have it be wider. That's just for me. I rather it be wider. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah. Open the bottle. Now the processor. The Fold 4 has a better processor. The Fold 5 will definitely have a better processor. So all in all, the Folds are going to be the faster phones. Definitely. That is confirmed. Confirmed. The Folds will be faster. In terms of storage and price, so the Pixel Fold is going to be coming in at, like what is it, 1,799, right? Yeah, so it is confirmed at the same price point. So again, this is a little bit outdated. So both of them will start at 1,800. And this one is again wrong. So the price is a little bit outdated here, but basically it's going to be the same price as these two in terms of the Fold. It will be equal pricing to the Fold. Now, in terms of the camera, 50 megapixel sensor here to 23 millimeter f1.8. This one is going to be a 48 megapixel f1.7. So already it's going to be a better aperture. And I do believe, I'm 90% positive that the sensor is bigger on this one than on the Samsung. In terms of the other one, f2.2 on the telephoto. So that will, wait, let me see. Sorry. Try and match the right one to the right one. The telephoto, f3.05. So the telephoto is going to be darker in that one because this one is a 10 megapixel and I think this one is, or sorry, no, they're both 10 megapixels. So interesting enough, the telephoto on this one, yeah, because the telephoto is going to be a 5 optical and on the Fold it's a 10 optical. Oh no, it's a 3 optical. So this one's going to have a further optical actually in comparison. So that's interesting, that this one will have a 5 times optical, whereas this one had a 3 times optical. In terms of the f-stop, though, it is it's a lower f-stop, so not going to be as good in low light, but it will zoom further. And honestly, Google does a really good job with zoom photography. So your 5x is going to be all optical, whereas this one, it goes only optical to 3x. But the biggest difference for this for sure is going to be like your 10x zoom when you go digital on both. Google is going to be far better because the 10x on this one is closer in comparison to the telephoto on the Ultra series from Samsung. So definitely better on that one. Now on this one, it's going to be f2.2 with a 121 ultra wide. I'm not sure what the ultra wide is in here, but so f2.2, it looks like it'll be both f2.2 for the ultra wide angle camera. So that'll be the same, although Samsung uses a 12 megapixel, this one uses a 10 but I do not know if this one is a bigger sensor. It probably is, but judging by this, but again, not verified on that. 9.5 megapixel on the front compared to their 10, and then on the internal, you have an 8 megapixel camera versus the 4 megapixel ultra sensor stuff. So yeah, all in all, I am way more excited for the Pixel Fold for the cameras. Do I wish it would be a lower price? Absolutely. Absolutely, 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 absolutely. I definitely wish it was a lower price. But comparing to the Fold 4 and even the Fold 5, since we're really not getting that much of a difference in the Fold 5, and this all hinges, pun intended, on the Fold 5 actually making a splash. Because as of right now, the Fold 5 is not interesting. The Fold 5 is not interesting. It has a better hinge and it's lighter weight. I don't care. Like, if it really doesn't change, a built-in S Pen, which is what everyone's been asking for a long time now, if it doesn't have a built-in S Pen, if it doesn't have a bigger battery, I don't want it to be thinner, Samsung. I rather it be thicker so I can actually get more battery life. So, I don't want it to be thinner, but you're going to make it thinner. Am I going to lose battery life because of that? Quite possibly. So, I'm not getting a bigger battery life. I'm not getting a bigger, having an S Pen built in. Am I getting a better display? Getting better displays? No. So, why? Unless Samsung offers a better reason than the lighter, thinner, better hinge, I don't see why I would recommend anyone get the Fold 5 at this point. I really don't. So, yeah. I really don't. The Fold 4 is a great phone. I don't see anything wrong with it. I really, I don't see why I would recommend anyone upgrade. From the Fold 3 to the Fold 5, great. That's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. But I don't see why I would recommend anyone upgrading from the Fold 4 to the Fold 5. I just don't see a point of it right now. All right. In other news, there is this really interesting device by an ex-Apple exec, basically bringing a Star Trek kind of technology to the world. It is basically a device that is on your jacket that shoots out a projection and that you can read it on your hand. Now, as of right now, it looks like the device itself is running Android. Will it run Android in the end, or will it end up being a companion device like a smartwatch? We don't know yet. This isn't out yet. This was just a prototype that was shown off at an event. And what this can do is it can project onto your hand, and then you can press on it and select things. So as you can see here, you can select on calling someone, yes or no. And then in the call, you can mute your mic, you can hang up, you can pause the call, put it on hold. You can also scan things with it. So that's very interesting. What do I think about something like this? I think I love to see different aspects like this. Like, I miss stuff like this where it might never come out. It really might never come out. It might not be. But pushing the boundaries of what we have now, bringing new technology that could maybe one day be in a device, I'm all for it. I'm so here for it. So that is more of the aspect I like. Do I think this will be completely outshined by augmented reality? Yes, because I don't see a point if I can have glasses that put it right in front of my face. I don't see why I would want it on my hand. That's just my 2 cents for it. But again, it's the technology that I'm more interested in, and I think augmented reality is the better way of this. Just simply, we've seen, like, you can get a Bluetooth keyboard that is shoots out not an infrared beam, but a laser beam keyboard onto your desk, and you could type on it and it senses what you're typing. Also, projectors have that as well with LiDAR built into it. These kind of concepts are interesting, but without a tactile feedback, it doesn't ever work as well as the idea in our heads does. Looks cool, but that's my 2 cents. That I think the idea is really cool concept, but will it actually, be something we cling on to? I don't think so, but Hey, I love that we're getting new technology that's different and out there like this. Right now, you can sign up to get on the wait list to get more information about this. But it's Humane is the company. So yeah, Humane wearable augmented reality, or just if you type in Humane wearable, you should be able to find it right away. All right. In other news, Bard, Google's AI is getting the ability to now generate and debug code. This is something ChatGPT had for a while now, and it's actually very good at. Google did hold off on allowing Bard to do this in the beginning, but now it just gave it the ability to do so. So the fact that you are now able to do this more precisely is really cool. And it's one thing that, again, we'll see kind of how it goes. I'm very curious to see how it's going to be overall with this because, man, this ability for the Bard to get smarter and smarter is really where Google needs to go because Google is far behind right now compared to ChatGPT. But I've said since the beginning, as soon as Google gets serious about this, they are going to literally pass ChatGPT, I think, within a year or less even. And that's what's crazy. Like, I truly do believe Bard will probably be better than ChatGPT by the end of this year. And the craziest part is because I think Google is going to make it more all-encompassing, where right now you have ChatGPT for text and you have, what is it, Midjourney for images. I really don't like Midjourney, by the way. I paid it for like the year subscription to see how I would like it. I think it was like $90 for the year. I do not. I just. It's so less in terms of quality compared to ChatGPT that I thought it would be similar to. It's just it's so like yeah. I don't really care for it at all. The fact that you can't input an image so easily, I think, is a really hindrance to it for sure. But I still need to learn more and play with it. But I think Bard is going to have the all-encompassing where you can create your own images as they're testing right now in Google presentations. I forget what it's called. I never use Google, their presentation thing. Slides, I think it's called. In Google Slides, they give you the ability to create images as of right now in a low form. But that is what I think is Google's going to be advantage coming up by the end of the year, that they're going to allow Bard to do every and anything that AI can do instead of just text. So that's where I think Google will cross over and eventually be better than ChatGPT before the end of this year. All right, and then we got some news about Apple's AR, and that it will be a device that is going to require to be connected to another device. So it essentially will be connected to another device in order to make it work. So we are going to have it have either a battery pack or more than likely just be connected to an iPhone or possibly even a MacBook, and that will allow it to work, essentially. Now, the version of this one is going to be more so for developers, so it's going to be a $3,000 price tag is what it keeps circling around. But the idea behind this is it will be an augmented reality device that you connect to another device, and it will act more as a screen that gives you further information. Very curious to see how it'll go. Obviously, this isn't going to be the final product, so it might not look as polished, to be quite honest. I think a lot of people keep expecting this beautiful design kind of thing like that. I think it will be good, but I think it will not be anywhere near what we're going to get after the developers are done with it. And the final product will be a lot, possibly closer to this, but I don't think it'll be as nice looking as that when it comes to developers. That's just my thought. It doesn't need to be. And while it could be because they're Apple, I don't think they will because they probably feel that they don't need to. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see, but that's where it is right now. All right, guys, that was the news. Go ahead and start firing off your questions in the comment section down below, and I will answer them before the end of the show. Speaking of augmented reality, I just got these ones in Virtue, and these are, as of right now, the best. They call them XR glasses, which is actually what Apple's calling themselves too. So AR and VR are the two types of realities. AR allows you to see through stuff, and VR, you're in a closed area. What they've started seeing now is something called XR. And what XR means is it crosses both platforms. So, the idea behind something like this is that these, as they are right here, are augmented reality. I can see the camera, I can see everything in front of me. You might be seeing a reflection of my screen, which is kind of funny. But within these, it would have a screen if I had them on. These are a lot like Apple's tech, where it's going to have a magnetic connection right here, and then I can connect it to my phone or even my laptop, and this would act like another monitor on my laptop if I connected my laptop to it, or I can connect it to my phone, and with the Samsung phone, I would get Dex on here. So I'll plug this in just to see if actually you can see it on camera. Anyone let me know if you can actually see the screen once it pops up. I will tell you guys once it pops up for me. So right now it just popped up for me. It's like a sun. I think I can kind of see it on your guys's to be, and I could make it darker. So this is, let's go ahead and I'm going to brighten this up. Okay, so this is augmented reality where I can see through this entirely. Like I can see myself, I can see the screen of text right here and now, right? So that I can see through right now. This is AR. This has a shutter mode, you can kind of say, where if I click it, it turns a lot darker and it blackens everything around me. So now I cannot see the camera so much in front of me because that's the center of my screen. I can see the text over here. I can see the text over here. Obviously, if I look up like this, I can see it perfectly as well. But this is what is closer to VR. So XR glasses, the idea behind them is you can do both. And again, you might be able to see the little yellow light in front of me. And that is the wallpaper for Dex as it comes. The other thing I can do is use this though. This is just a little, cheap thing that they kind of make to block off what's in front of you. So if I put this on, the screen is now perfectly clear in front of me, and that's all I see. I cannot see anything in front of me now unless I see it out of the side of my face. And this is more of a privacy mode. So like this is what you might wear if you're watching a movie or playing a game and you really want to enjoy the color and the pop and everything like that. This is what you would do. If you want to be connected to the world around you though still, then you might do this and be able to do that. And like now I'm in AR mode so I can see everything in front of me. So this is what XR is, and then I can just disconnect it and you will maybe see the screen go off, and yeah, there it goes. So yeah, that is XR. This is pretty much what Apple is designing. They are designing an augmented reality set of glasses that can also be used for they can be used basically for AR and VR. That is what they're designing. They're essentially what these are called are XR ones. These are the best XR glasses I've yet to see, by the way. I have used TCLs and I've used InReals, and these are the best screen I've ever seen. They are geared towards gaming, and so it can do 1080p at 60 pretty comfortably with the Steam I was using, and it can do that with the Nintendo Switch as well. So yeah, this is something I just got in. I will be reviewing it more, but the biggest part that I will say that where these stand out for me, that my wife was just like, that just seems very lazy, and while I agree, it's still true. The best way to use these is when you're like laying down. So if you're laying down, you're just looking straight up and you don't have to lean your neck down. Also, if I'm on a laptop, right, and I don't have a bigger screen where I can see everything, this would be better for that instance because one, I look straight ahead instead of down, right? You think about your neck and how much we look down at our electronics. The whole idea behind this is you look straight and you just have a screen in front of you. So that's really cool in terms of it. But yeah, so that's really what I'm looking at in terms of all this kind of stuff. Is this is XR? It's a really cool concept. How will it go? I will say that I tested out my Steam for about an hour. I played through the entire first mission of Final Fantasy VII integrated, and then I played some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge, the new like old school retro game to it. And it was awesome. Like, it was so cool. Now, the one thing I will say about these that I don't think Apple will have a problem with is these do not have any speakers built into them. So you either use the device's speaker or more than likely use some Bluetooth earbuds. In that photo, I was actually using a neckband headset, so that was pretty good for the local area. But yeah, different options and different stuff. But just give an idea of what XR really is. All right. Hey, Luca, thank you so much for the donation. Hey, Ricky, good evening with the content. Fan as always. Thank you, Luca. I always appreciate your stuff. What do you think about the Lenovo Legion 7 Slim Advantage Edition? And what laptop are you currently using? I am still using the one I got at the end of last year, which is the Asus G15. I have the Ryzen 6900 as a processor and the 3060 as a GPU. So not the fastest one ever out there, but still a very good one for everything I need. Okay, so let's go ahead and see this. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's on Best Buy, so we'll go ahead and see that one. All right, so got it. Okay, right away I would compare this to the upgraded version of mine, by the way, or even the G14, but let's just go with this. Okay, so this one is an AMD Advantage laptop. What that means is it should benefit from having both the CPU and the GPU both coming from AMD, something that I really am a fan of. The reason why it didn't work out so much for me was because as of this point, AMD's GPUs still aren't where they need to be for editing specifically. For gaming, AMD really has set the bar for GPU updates. Their 6800 performs better than the RTX 3090 now. So in terms of that, just so you know, their GPU, this one, is really, really good when it comes to gaming now. Very good. In terms of, yes, they might have as much ray tracing stuff. So if you're a big ray tracing person, you might still want to go with an NVIDIA GPU. But overall, really, really good when it comes to having the two Ryzen and Radeon. Really good. And definitely something that I was looking at for a long time. It didn't work out for me because of the editing. I have little birdies that I hear from. That could be something different in the future. But I will say that I'm very excited to see where that goes. And maybe by the end of the year, if I do upgrade my laptop, which I'm not sure if I will this year or not. It depends if AV1 as a file format really goes where I need it to, because I might want to do that for editing purposes. But that's a whole nother story. When it comes to this one, though, it has 16 gigs of RAM, which is fine. 1 terabyte SSD, which is great. By the way, I always recommend, if you are buying from Best Buy or Newegg or whatever, well, Best Buy and Newegg specifically, I don't know about Amazon. Check out the open box, because this is saving you, I mean, look at that. $400 for an open box with excellent condition. I would immediately be looking at this. I usually don't go lower than satisfactory. I usually don't go to fair. I usually go to satisfactory at most. But the fact that that is a $400 difference, I would go recommending an open box all day, all day. I mean, that's definitely well worth the discount. All right, but yeah, other than that, man, I mean, this is great. Wi-Fi 6, it's awesome. It's not 6E, but 6 is still great. 4.5 pounds, that's really good for the weight distribution. And yeah, this is what you call the AMD Advantage stuff. You get a lot of things of AMD Advantage by using both of those two. So really good for that aspect. 500 nits of brightness, that's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty good for a laptop. Typically laptops I see on average 300 nits of brightness. So 500 nits tells me that this is going to be a good, nice bright display. I like Lenovo's Legion's series for having this little hump up at the top. I know Asus Tough has it as well. It makes it very easy to open with one hand, which definitely comes in handy when you need to. So over here we see two USB type C's on that side. On this side, we see a full SD card slot, headphone jack, and it looks like power. On the back, let's see if I have another better shot of it. Oh, never mind. That was a privacy switch for the camera and headphone jack. Full SD card, though, like I said. Two USB 4.0s, I'm pretty sure. I haven't looked at that, but I'm just assuming that is what's going to be on there. And then I don't have a straight shot of the back, but full HDMI, probably two USB A 3.0s, probably a display port, and the proprietary charger for it. So yeah, I mean, it looks great, man. I would definitely recommend this one. It's awesome for everything that it gives you. It's interesting, the arrow keys being like that. I don't know how that would be. And also your trackpad is to the side. I'm not a big trackpad person, so I wouldn't care. But if you are a big trackpad person, this would drive you crazy, it being to the left instead of in the middle, from what I've heard from most people that are very much into trackpads and take that stuff very seriously. But yeah, other than that, great. Yeah, no real downsides to it, I would say. All right. Let's go ahead and answer any other questions. Thank you again, Luca, for that donation. All right. Is there a good car charger on Amazon? 160 watt car charger from Beerus Type C. That sounds like a good one. Let's go ahead and find one for you. Car charger. You said 160 watt. Let's see this one. Now, I do like the brand. I will say that. My first instinct, though, with something this powerful is it going to blow your fuse? That would be my first instinct, because I would say that not all fuses can take this much power. So that right away is just a caution for it for sure. But other than that, let's go ahead and take a look at it. So we have 100 watt type C at the top. Qualcomm Quick Charge 5. I always forget they're up to 5 because I swear most phones don't support past 3. On the middle, and then we have full USB A. Let's go ahead and see these wattages. So we have 100 watt, 30 watt, 30 watt. So the reason why it's saying 160 is because it's saying it sounds like that you could do all three of these at the same time, which is kind of surprising. Wait, let's see if that's true. Yeah, it is saying you could do all three at the same time, which is pretty surprising, to be honest. Normally, it does go smaller and smaller as you go along. But yeah, absolutely. Would I recommend this one? Yes. Great quality. I love a lot of their chargers. Happy for it. $49 plus 15% off coupon right now. Great to go. This would be good. Now, if you don't need that much power, they did have another one here from the same company that probably sounds like a really good one to me. And I'm going to check if there's any others. You have a 65 watt one. This would be good too. Okay. And again, it all depends on your car, because so many cigarette lighters are in fact very different, and I didn't learn that till I started getting really powerful ones. So yeah, 100 watt here and 30 USB. The thing I like about this is it actually tells you how much wattage is going out, which I really kind of like that. Now in terms of both at the same time, so this one is looking like it is 65 watt out and 35 and 30 out, or it can go 100 with just the one at the top. So this does share that power between the two. So going up to 95 watts with that as a total. So it looks like this will go 65 and this will go that one. And then you have another one, 65 watt from here. These are 25 watts. I would just go with this one for that. So this is probably one I would recommend for anyone. Most cars should be fine with this kind of wattage out. A total of 100 is typically where I tend to land. Now, I will say that some of these do not always fast charge every phone. So for instance, I would probably still recommend this one for a lot of people that have a Samsung smartphone. This is one of the ones I have in my car, and then I have a faster one next to it that's like a 100-watt charger. I think it's like a 65 watt maybe. But this one is a 45 watt and a 15-watt charger. So this one I have for myself, and it comes with it a Type-C to Type-C cable. So this super fast charges the Samsung phone. So, you know, when you plug it into a charger, like I can plug it into a charger and it might say fast charging, right? It might say like this one right here. This is a 65 watt cable, but for this phone, it only says charging. It might say actually fast charging. Let me see. Hold on. Actually, so yeah, even though this is 65 watt cable, right? Type-C cable, this actually only says charging right now. But I connected to my Samsung 45 watt cable, Type-C, and suddenly I go to super fast charging. So, whoa, drop something right now. Oh, that's a new product that's not out yet. Don't worry about it. But yeah, so this is something I would recommend for a person that probably has a Samsung smartphone better for it. So Samsung smartphone car charger, because you'll get super fast charging instead of just fast charging. All right, guys, I'm getting through all of these. I always do, you know, anytime someone does a super chat donation, I get to them first. So I'm still going to go through the top of the list to the bottom of the list, so I will answer your question. But another person did a super chat. Paul, thank you so much, first of all, for the super chat. What is the best smart TV for 300 and under, and is there a 55-inch at that price? Let's go ahead and check it out. All right, I think for this, we'll go to Best Buy for it. So let's go to Best Buy. Boom. Let's go to Best Buy and check out TVs. All TVs. Shop all TVs. No reason why we need to take any out. All flat screen TVs. And then we'll start filtering down. Okay. So I think we can definitely get a 40 for around that price. So let's stick to this 3. And then let's go for, you said under 300. So we'll go in this range. And then we'll go highest price and lower. So the highest price on this is going to be obviously more than 300, but at the same time, let's remember that the open box stuff. Remember that open box stuff, because it can help out. Right here, for instance, I think we'll be able to find others, but just a curved TV. What the heck? Oh my god, it's a curved TV. Wow, that's old school. You might be able to find an open box, is what I was just saying for it. There's no open box in my area, but there might be one in yours. But that is gonna be one option. Let's go ahead and keep scrolling down though. Let's keep scrolling. Let's keep scrolling. Let's keep scrolling. All right. I am looking for 300 and under. And let's go ahead and see. But see, as you can see right here, again, I'm telling you, if you're okay with an open box, there's going to be some open boxes that are around that price. I wouldn't go Pioneer. But, whoa, 120. I mean, that must be a really bad open box. Or they're just trying to get rid of it at this point. Let's go. Keep looking. That's a 43 inch. I mean, 312. I'm just saying, you know. All right. And I think now we'll finally get to the 300 regular priced items. So we'll get to that. But I mean, we're definitely seeing some, I'm just saying, that are definitely in that range. All right. Price drop. All right. That'll be enough of the regular. Let's go ahead and see some that are in the 300 price range. Whoa, curved TV, a little old school. Oh, that's a lot old school for sure. All right, I'm gonna keep it at 3. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Let's go. 50 inch. You can get a 58 inch. This looks like a Black Friday kind of thing, though. I'll get to why that is. All right, let's see if there's any other 50s, because it sounded like you wanted a 50. Ooh, right here. Let's go with that too. What was that? That was a 50 inch. I don't know if I'd recommend a Toshiba anymore. I used to like them, but now I just, oof. I think I would go with Google TV over the Roku. That's me. All right. I think we have enough of them now. And that was a 55 inch. All right, so we have a couple of them now. So let's get rid of this curved TV. None available in my area for this one. It was a Vizio 50 inch. It was a higher end one. All right. So yeah, just so you, again, so this one's a 55 inch, right? It's on sale. It's normally $430. It's on sale for $380. You might have an open box as low as $312 in your area. It's not in my area, but this is just stuff to look out for. I'm only going to obviously send you links for the stuff available. This is another one. Again, just not in the area, but just so you know. All right, this is normal price, so this one will be sending you a link for. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's go with TV. Oh, wait. Create a new post. TVs. So I can always look at this. 55. I'll just type in 55 inch for my own recollection. All right. So this one is a TCL 50 inch 5 series. Series is important because we're going to get to 5 series and 4 series. The 4 series will be cheaper. But for 5 series, this is $299. Really good price for that one. Honestly, this is a QLED. It has 3 HDMIs, which is pretty good for, again, in this price range. As we see, that is one of the things they'll cut down is how many HDMI inputs you have. But the fact that it's QLED is really good. It's pretty thin at the top, or thinner. Good. It has the legs this way, which I kind of like that we can usually fit something underneath if possible, instead of when it's in the middle or like the V shape kind of thing. So this is the one to beat. I don't know if there going to be one to beat it for it. So this one at the same price, definitely the other one's better. This is a 4 series. It is a 58 inch, so it's technically your biggest one, but it's not as bright. It does still gives you 4 HDMIs, because this does look like a Black Friday sale kind of TV. What that means is it sometimes has, less support over time, or different things of that nature. But does that matter that much? Are updates on TV, is that important? Not really. More for security purposes, I would say, more than anything else. But other than that, I mean, you have a lot going for it. You have 4 HDMIs plus eARC. Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad one for sure. Personally, I would go for the QLED. It's going to be brighter, and if you have any bright lights in your living room or bedroom or wherever you're putting this, that will play a difference in factor. So yeah, TV is 55 inch at the post. Okay, so this is the TCL 58 inch 4 series. And this one is $299. So there you go. Okay, then we have a Hisense. Another one. This one is the A6 series. Let's go ahead and see how many HDMIs it has. This one has 3 HDMIs. One is going to be eARC. I do like how Hisense does put 4K 60, so you know the best quality it can be. Obviously, you're not going the 120 route here at this kind of price point. That is something that obviously the higher end versions will have for more like gaming and stuff like that. It has high refresh rates at a high quality. But other than that, I mean, very plasticky looking. Hisense isn't generally the most pretty looking by design, but I mean, I have a Hisense still, I believe, in my daughter's room. It used to be our bedroom TV, actually. And yeah, it was fine for everything needed. This is Google TV, which I do prefer. So yeah, this one is another good one. Hisense 50 inch A6 series. Between this one and the TCL, I would probably go for the TCL 5 series, because again, that's still QHD. It's going to be a better overall quality and brighter than this one. But, just so I'm not biased, it just saves you $10 too. So, hey, whatever you kind of need to go with, right? All right. And then this one is a 55 inch TCL 4 series. So this is not the QLED series. It still does have, though, the 3 HDMI. So you still get 3 HDMIs even the Series 4. So the biggest difference in this one is it's not going to be as bright. It's so for that purpose, the 5 series still will be better. And personally, I would go with the 5 series, but everything else, you kind of get everything you need. So yeah, hopefully this helps. This is the last one. This is a 55 inch for you for that. So yeah, let's go ahead and 55. Let's see. Oops. TCL 55 inch 4 series, and this is $279 right now. And for these prices for Best Buy, this week just started, so they should be until Saturday. So if you're looking around at them. All right, guys, let's get back to the chat, and I will again. I'm starting from the top. I only answered one question about the car charger before people started sending in super chats, so I will get to your question. Just might take me a second. All right. What's the real reason we're not getting an S Pen on the Fold? Cost. That's what I think it is. It's cost to how much money they're making on the phone. And because they don't have any competition, they are complacent. That's why the Pixel Fold is so important, because it's going to make them move. If OnePlus Fold comes out by the end of this year and is a copy of the N2 phone that a lot of reviewers liked, that will help out too. Like, competition is good. It makes them move and get off their butts and make something innovative. Samsung is seeming to push more with their regular phones than their foldables at this point, just because of the fact that, they're not safe on their main phone. They have competition on their main phone. They don't have competition on their foldables. Indeed, bezel isn't as bad as at least not having a notch. Yeah, that's another good point too. It doesn't have a notch. The Fold 4 isn't a great phone. It's expensive, doesn't have better cameras than the S22. The crease is horrible, no matter how some people want to pretend the crease isn't gross distraction. To be quite honest, I don't see the crease as a bad thing. Like, you don't notice it, at least as a person that has used a foldable for years. Every fold, I really, and that's the thing. By the way, the Fold 5 is going to have a smaller crease. They're putting so much money into having a better crease and a better hinge. But quite frankly, I have never noticed the crease as a detriment when using it. Yes, I might notice it when the screen is off, or if it's a really black, dark screen and very bright sunlight maybe on it. Yeah, sure, I might notice it, like, for that few minutes or few seconds or whatever. But I mean, as a whole, it never bothered me. Now, that might be me. It might be me. I like, when I see tech reviewers go on and on about the crease, I'm like, dude, I don't care about it. Like, it doesn't bother me. But everyone has a different mind. Everyone has a different design in their head about what is the most important features, and that's what makes tech cool. Have you heard of Sunbird, and are you on the wait list? I've not heard about Sunbird. What is it? Sunbird chat. No computer or Apple device needed, only on Android phone. Unify all your messages. So it essentially unifies all your messages. I'm guessing it's another one of these things that will add iMessage to texting. I don't know. I've always just been weary of that. Sure, I'll join the waitlist because why not? But yeah, I'll join the waitlist on it, but for me, those kind of things are always like really sketchy because I'm trusting someone else to take over the iMessage thing for me, which I just feel is very weird. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents on it. Let's see. In my opinion, since buying a Samsung OLED TV 2 months ago, I do notice most streaming sites highly compress video and HDR, audio, etc. I just purchased a Panasonic 4K Blu-ray player, 820, and it makes a big difference. Definitely. I mean, it's 1080p Blu-rays are going to be better than 4K streaming. Definitely, like, no question. It's the compression. It's so big, and it makes such a difference. So yeah, I would easily say that that a 1080p Blu-ray will still look better, way better than 4K streaming. So yeah, your source matters for sure, and everything is so compressed. So yeah, it's why video games will typically look better than or show your TV off better than you streaming 4K from Netflix or Disney Plus or anything like that. And that's because you're getting a source that's directly into it that's outputting a much better quality. So yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's the sacrifice of streaming was not for the quality, it was for the easy access. Now, to be fair, as a society, we have collectively said we're willing to make that sacrifice. But it's nice when you see what your TV's really capable of every now and then. It's for sure one reason though why I would say, like, if I was ever to be super wealthy, kind of thing like that, I would totally, like, if I would have a big screen TV, like a Samsung wall TV, right, huge ridiculous TV. If I was that wealthy where I could buy that, I would buy discs. I would buy 4K Blu-ray player, 4K Blu-rays, and just to see the actual quality that the highest end technology can produce. And like, it would be such a thing you could show off to your friends that are like, oh dude, I've seen it. I've seen Endgame on Disney Plus, 4K, Dolby Atmos, Dolby Vision, everything, all that stuff. I'm like, no, you haven't. And then show them that. And they might think it's the TV, but really it's also just the content that it's shown on. All right. Let's go ahead and... Ooh, I've been draining my laptop like crazy. All right. Let's go ahead and see what's next. What is a good Android streaming device? I mean, you kind of have to go... So there's only two, in my opinion. There's only two. And that is Google TV. So Google TV is for sure... Google TV Chromecast is for sure the best one out there, and I would get the 4K. To me, it's well worth it over the 1080p. That's to me just because if you're going to get one, I think it's longer term better. You can get the 4K one, obviously, but I mean, you can see I purchased it myself, so yeah. So that one has to be the go-to one for the price, for just being the main thing. Google TV Chromecast, right? So that is the main one. The problem with this one, the definite problem with this one, is that it's older technology. So that's the biggest problem with it, right? In terms of the processor and its limited storage. I don't know if they even will tell you the storage here, but I want to say it's like 4 gigs because I really cannot fit all the streaming. It says 8 gigs, but I swear you have like probably 4 gigs of capacity to yourself to actually download things, which is okay. Like, it's okay, but it is limiting in that. And then you have the only 2 other options I would recommend, especially in light of if you've caught up on, like, a lot of these Android set-top boxes are for sure basically just creating there to steal your data, apparently. So I would not trust any of these third-party boxes anymore in light of what just came out. If you didn't hear, basically they just came out with it, apparently, that they have been taking data from people, and that was found out. Linus did a great video of it, and yeah, like, a lot of these boxes are just stealing people's information. So wouldn't trust many of that one. This one is the Shield TV at the lower price. I wouldn't recommend this one simply for the fact that it only has 8 gigs as well, so you will be limited in your amount of storage. And the thing is why does storage matter? If you have a lot of streaming services, not even if you are a gamer, but if you have a lot of streaming services, your storage gets taken up very quickly. For instance, I have Netflix, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, Peacock, HBO Max, Discovery Plus. That will be joined shortly, so that will save me some storage space. But I'm up to 6 so far. I swear I have more. I feel like I pay for more. YouTube itself, right? Sling TV. So yeah, I have a lot of streaming services on there. You might not. If you only have one or two streaming services, Google TV Chromecast is by far the best one for you. It's $50. It's great for the price. Get it. This one is a lot more money. And I want Google to make a version of this that costs $100 that has a better processor, that has all this kind of great stuff on it, and I would gladly buy it. But they haven't yet. Google I/O is right around the corner. It's literally in 2 weeks. So if you might want to wait, if they announce a new Chromecast, I am buying like 4 of them to replace every TV in my house with that Google Chromecast. I want more storage desperately. They 16 should be the standard. And unfortunately, this is the only one that really has 16, and it's reliable company that I would recommend and trust. So while I would ultimately recommend waiting for Google to see if they come out with one, this is the other one that I can currently recommend now. And that is the NVIDIA Shield Pro, 16 gigs of storage. It has all the best upscaling. This will make your TV look better than what it can currently put out. NVIDIA's upscaling is second to none. It is better than every other TV's upscaling out there. So this is great for that. The quality on this is absolutely amazing. And besides, having the great quality for it, you do get lots of things like, NVIDIA Now Gaming. You get things like HDR plus, and I think this one has Dolby Vision and Dolby sound quality amplified on there as some of their I forget which one they backed up, but it has a lot of things going for it. Really good for it. It's a little bit older version of Android, but they've upgraded every year, I believe. So I don't think they're to Android 13, but I believe they're into Android 12 now. And you also have 3 gigs of RAM, which is really good for, again, this kind of device. So yeah, I would, this would be the other one that I would recommend, although I do believe it's overpriced. Might even buy it used or something, but yeah. And unfortunately, I don't do open box to this one. All right. Let's see. Let's see where we go. Best gaming monitor for 300. I would honestly go to Newegg for gaming monitors. And full disclosure, I do a lot of stuff for Newegg, such as social media, and I am an influencer for them. Hey, there's me. As I was saying it, good thing I'm always open about it. There's me. I basically do a lot of their influencer stuff. I'm the connection to the influencer, as I am one. So yeah, a lot of stuff, but I just recommend them way more for gaming monitors and gaming laptops. Usually it's either or, right? The best ones. But for gaming monitors, I would go to them before I would go to Best Buy. Just the more selection for it, as well as if you're ever looking for a GPU. Honestly, I've compared the prices. They're typically always going to be better priced at that kind of stuff. So let's go for that now. Let's go for monitors. And as I say that, I'm like trying to see, wait, where are the core components? Nope. Are they here? Accessories. Computer accessories. Sorry, I have the camera right in front of me. I'm just going to type in game monitor. All right. And I'll just close that. Now game monitors. All right, so let's go ahead. I always do ship by Newegg. That way, it's from a reliable source and not a third-party marketplace for it. So we wanted a price point of under $300. Honestly, let's go for 200 to 300. I think that's just better. And let's see what we have. Okay, full disclosure, not the biggest fan of Acer, so I would probably not go that route. Just wanted to get that out there because you might be like, well, why are you ignoring this one? It's a 27-inch with 280 hertz. Yeah, but I personally, I wouldn't recommend Acer. That's just me. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of these. So we have a 27-inch from LG 2K display. So yeah, that's the first thing I have to recommend. You were asking for a game monitor. What is more important to you, resolution or refresh rate? Because that's the kind of tug and pull you typically get with this. Because you can get like a 2K one for 144 hertz, or you can get a 1080p one for 165 hertz. I would personally go for the better resolution, but let me know which one is better for you, so I at least know that going in. Also, screen size. Maybe 32 inch is more important. So maybe you might want a 32 inch 1080p instead of a 2K 27 inch. So that's another thing. Lenovo 32 inch. What is the resolution of this one? I need to see the resolution of that one before I okay it. Yeah, and see, like, I wouldn't call this a gaming monitor. 4K at 60 hertz. I'm assuming you're going to want a faster refresh rate for that. So that's just that. I'm just reading the comments on this. So many streaming channels. I just want my sports at a cheaper price. Man, those get higher price too. I have an NVIDIA Shield. I have the hard drive hookup for up to one. I'm guessing 1 terabyte of more storage. That's great. It's just I know a lot of apps do not allow you to move over to the outside storage, so you just always have to be kind of wary of that. 32-inch 4K. I hate when the title doesn't tell you everything, and then I have to click it and go to it. Ooh, this one's really good. Right now, the Gigabyte one is the one that I'm looking at, the best one. Okay, so you said refresh rate might actually be more important, so that might be a big thing right there. So maybe check that one out. 29-inch. Yeah, because see, then you go to stuff like this where I'm looking at this. This is a 29-inch 1080p, but 200 hertz. So I got to add that to it if refresh rate is really important to you, more than maybe resolution. So all these things factor in. Let's see, 1440p, 170. I'm trying to look for. Can we get a 1440p over the 200 hertz? Ooh, Ace is tough. Maybe 1080p. Yeah, I mean, it really kind of depends on what you're going with. 27-inch. I mean, like, look, you just want 1080p, 280. That's sexy. All right. I love Samsung monitors. Don't get me wrong, but I just feel they're a little overpriced sometimes. All right, let's go through some of these. So this is a 1440p at 144 hertz. I feel like we could do better. So that was a 27-inch 1440p. So 1440p, 165 hertz. So already this MSI is better for it. So would go for this one. We're going to compare these kind of real quick. This is a 32-inch, 31-inch, whatever. 1440p at 144 hertz. So we're sacrificing some hertz on there. It does have free sync on here. 4K. What is the refresh rate? I'm guessing it's probably like 60 hertz or something like that. 60 hertz. 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 60 The fact that I don't see the hertz really accessible kind of annoys me. Yeah, 60 hertz. That's what I thought. Not interested in that because you want hertz more. So this is a 32 inch at 165 hertz. This is the new winner, and it's on sale, so really good price for it. So this is the new one to beat. 32 inch, 2K, 165 hertz. Gigabyte looks like it's going to take this. This is a 1080p, but it has 200 hertz refresh rate. Now, this is going to be compatible with what? NVIDIA G-Sync, and doesn't like FreeSync, so I don't know what GPU you have either, to be fair. And then this is a 27 inch. All right, so these are your 3 ones, depending on what you're looking for. Yeah. All right, so depending on what you're looking for, let me see. You have this Gigabyte one, which is a 32 inch, right? 32 inch. .32-inch monitor, 165 hertz, 2K. So 32-inch, 165 hertz, 2K. For $289. Probably the one I would take. Not gonna lie, I like the higher resolution. That's me. This is also FreeSync Pro. I would have to look up if this does have G-Sync compatibility as well. Just again, things to think off the top. All right, then we move on to the MSI. So this one is a 29.5 inch 1080p. And this one is 200 hertz super sample, but still very, very fast in terms of it. So, and this one is 269. So 269. So that's that one. And then we have an Asus, which is a 27 inch. So this is the smallest of the bunch. This one, though, has a 280 overclocked hertz rate, so legit. And this is another one that's G-Sync. So the first one I know off the top of my head were G-Sync, the last two were G-Sync, and the first one was FreeSync Pro. So just know that going in, that depending on what you're looking for in terms of GPU will make a difference with this as well. Some monitors will work with both, by the way. You just kind of have to look more into it on their website typically to find that out. It might have it in the details sometimes here, but not always. So sometimes I would just recommend going to their website. Just look at the exact model of this one, and then you can do that by just going to like the specs and get this. This is the model number, and then you could search it on their website if it has only G-Sync or if it also has FreeSync compatibility. All right, but that one is going to be $299. So it's the most expensive one because of its refresh rate, and so just depending on what you're looking for, there you go. All right, guys. You guys are a lot of shopping stuff today, but happy to help whenever I can. All right, let's see. Being able to use Android apps on Windows available for Windows 11 only. Will 10 users have the update Windows 11? I don't think so. As far as I know, that it's only going to be a Windows 11, and it's one of the main reasons for them to upgrade people to Windows 11. So I don't see them giving it anytime soon. That being said, of course, like you said, that way they don't have to upgrade to Windows 11 to play 51st Day Questions. And if those of you not familiar with it, 51st Day Questions is a game that I created that you can play with your significant other or your significant other on a first date and see if you're compatible with it. If you are not compatible, then it will tell you, and you save yourself so much time and alimony. 51st Date Questions is a great game to play on your first date or on your 50th date to find out if that spark is still there. Go ahead and download it. Available on Android and iOS. I believe it's still available on iOS. I have not checked on it, to be honest. All right. And that was my shameless plug of the week, as Quiet Storm always recommends. Not sure if you watch True Lies, but the computer guy used a program like Chat to talk to his girlfriend. Didn't work out well. Oh, that's hilarious. No, so this is a new True Lies. The show that I heard was like a spin-off of the original movie True Lies. True Lies the movie I absolutely love. Like that is on my top 5 probably action movies of all time. I absolutely love True Lies. It's one I haven't seen for a while, but man, do I just remember always like every time I watch it, it's like this is awesome. Not to mention, I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis has never been my type, but damn. It's just the attitude sometimes, you know? But yeah, so great movie, loved it. I've not seen the show, but you know, I will say that like if you haven't watched my video on ChatGPT, go ahead and check it out on how to put ChatGPT on your phone. It really can do some fun stuff. So like before I came up with you know, how to use ChatGPT to use pickup lines on a girl that likes Harry Potter. And it was honestly really good for that purpose. Like it could do a lot. Or another one I showed just to show my daughter what it could do is Demon Slayer. Like if they like Demon Slayer, they like you know, whatever kind of stuff like that. It's really funny. So like let's see. You which one? Oh yeah, this was one of my favorites. Do you have a time turner? Because I want to relive this moment with you forever. Like, boom, just, you know, just got to get there. Are you a Gryffindor? Because you are brave, bold, and beautiful. Like, you know, it's just you got to know how to say it. Let's see. Those are the two good ones. Yeah. Yeah, no. Is your wand made of phoenix feather? Because you are blazing hot. Like all like there's definitely duds in there, but it's just funny how they come up with stuff like that. Like pick up lines for a girl that likes, let's do Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball. All right. Are you Super Saiyan because you're glowing with beauty? Um, are you Are you a Capsule Corp capsule? Because you've got everything I need. I feel like I'm in the hyperbolic time chamber with you. I feel like I'm in the hyperbolic time chamber because with you, time flies. So yeah. You must be saying because you've got a power level over 9,000 in my eyes. Oh, that's just. But yeah, no, just funny stuff. When it was, I'm like a Zenzu bean. I'll always be there to restore your energy. That is just from the heart. Oh, that one got me. But yeah, fun stuff you can do with it. How I've told everyone in terms of ChatGPT, like, yeah, like it's just all the stuff you can do with it. It's not there yet in terms of fine details or anything like that. But it is a great tool as a person that writes a lot and that like just getting over that hump of like I don't know what to write about or I need some ideas about this. It will spit them out quicker than you can keep up. So that's what's so cool about it that I would say is really how I would use it. A lot of that in the sense of the internet or in terms of like when I used to write poetry, like rhyming, I would just like, okay, I just need a word to rhyme with. And I would find the word to rhyme with it, right? but then I would be the one creating the sentence with that rhyme. So it's things like that. So yeah. But yeah, it's really funny things like that is what I would use ChatGPT for. Whether it's just comical, doesn't matter kind of stuff, and things of that like nature, is what I would write about. But let me see. Pick up lines to a girl that loves tech and Android phones. Let's see what it gives me. See, this is just hilarious. Are you an Android phone? Because you got all the features I'm looking for. Damn. You must be a computer because you have my heart processing at maximum speed. Oh my god. See, this is funny because micro SD card slots aren't there anymore. Do you have a micro SD card slot? Because I want to store all my love for you. I think I need a firmware update because I can't stop thinking about you. You're the Wi-Fi signal I've been searching for all my life. Okay, that could be really taken the wrong way. You're like a smartphone app. I can't stop using you. Just saying, that could be taken the wrong way. Are you a developer? Because you got my heart coding in a new language. Oof. That one's good. I like the developer one, and I love the first one. Are you an Android phone? Because you got all the features I've been looking for. Oof, man. I'm just telling you. It's the way you present it, obviously, but back in the day, this would be dangerous in my hands. Dangerous. All right. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Been a lot of fun today. We will be calling that a show. Thank you for tuning in. I have like 4 videos that have been recorded. The Eufy camera, the 2 on the Galaxy A54, the Miko one, and what was the other one? Oh, the Sony phone one. The Sony phone one is getting pushed back though, about a week or so. So that'll be pushed back to the 1st. So next Monday is when that one will come out. But yeah. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, make sure to check back on the channel. Got always content coming out, and now I just need to edit it. Thank you again so much for watching, guys. Please give a like before you leave. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy.